Om Sahanavavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Om Shri Chinmay Sadgurave Namaha. Tasmai Namaswami Tapovanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Hari Om. Previous lesson, Krishna says, everything has already been done by me. So just do the honors, be an instrument, and get fame. Just do your little bit. To whatever duty that has come, do your best. That's all you can do. Just be an instrument. This was the previous lesson. The most important we can say from that we can glean out of the 11th chapter. 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita is a very special and a unique chapter in so many aspects. It is packed with drama that is unparalleled, with graphic display that is incomparable. And also, the Lord's compassion here is very much there for all of us to see. It is unfathomably so, unimaginably he displays. Why I am saying all this? The Vishwarupa Darshana that he shows to Arjuna in this 11th chapter, just out of compassion, sheer compassion, which he has not done anywhere else. We can say that to Yashodama, he opened his mouth and showed many Brahmandas. Yes, true. And to Devaki Amma and Vasudeva, as soon as he was born, he gave darshan as the four-armed Narayana. To Bhishma Pitamaha also, when he went as the peace messenger before the war, he showed his big blazing rupa. He grew big in stature, and others could not see. It was just blinding, blinding white. That's all they could see. But Bhishma Pitamaha could see who he was, they say. This all comes in Bhagavatam and Mahabharatam. Yes, these were all special darshana, special vision that God, out of compassion for his devotee, bestowed on them. But here, what he has done for Arjuna in the middle of the battlefield, in the middle of the Bhagavad Gita discourse, is just something, it's like, you apdi pannitare, அப்படின்ற மாதிரி, it's very heart-rendering and touching. Why? Because God needs no proof, right? He needs no proof. But yet, he comes down and he displays all that and proves himself to the earnest devotee, not to a disbeliever's fake curiosity. Somebody just might be a disbeliever and just keep asking question. Is there God? Does he exist? What does he do? Where is he now? What is he doing? Not like that. But for an earnest devotee who is also a very good dharmic person and a bhakta, for him to develop unwavering devotion, to clear all his doubts, God does this. And he himself, at the end of the 11th chapter, many times in a couple of verses at least, he says, this darshan, what you have seen, this is just not feasible by any normal means, by any amount of austerity or any amount of study or any amount of charity or good work, yaga yajna, or ritualistic practices and sadhanas. By none of this one can get to see this form of me. Even the devatas, just yearn to see it, but they also have not got this blessing from me. But except one criteria, which is unwavering devotion, Ananya Bhakti. You're very dear to me and you have such unwavering devotion to me. You're my Bhakta and Shishya. For your Ananya Bhakti, this is the gift. And he has displayed all that and removed. Or see, whatever he has taught in the entire Bhagavad Gita up till that point, he showed as a practical demo in his very own body, including Arjuna making him part of that experience right then and there in the divine form of the Lord. In Krishna's body, Arjuna could see everything, the practical demo. We know that in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7 to 10, focuses on the nature of God, Ishvara, as Nirguna Brahman, as Saguna Brahman, him as Avatara, and the nature of Prakriti, the creation, and how God creates, sustains, and destroys the world. What is the relation? How is the essence of everything? How he has become everything, pervading everything. He is the one who creates, sustains, destroys everything. All this thing he was able to see in one go, at one place, in one time. Everything, the good, bad, not only all the glorious things, but all the unconducive things, not the adharmic things, are also very much his a part of him. All that he was able to see, and also the first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, we say is the sadhana, gives a lot of sadhana for the seeker to know the God. It gives the Atma Jnana. It dwells upon the individual. Okay, that also, if you see Karma Yoga, Bhagwan shows, right, through his form, in his form, he showed the results of the war. And he said, already this has been done. This has been done. So that's why I've been telling you all this time to just do your duty with Arpana Buddhi and accept the results without any expectations as Prasada Buddhi. Summary of all these teachings, he has practically demonstrated and again, once again, reiterated and says, just allow me to function through you. May thy grace flow through us to the world around us. Nimitta matram bhava savyasachan. That is what. It would be an interesting study to take our pledge and see which verses, which lines correlate to which verses of Bhagavad Gita, which teachings and messages of Bhagavad Gita also. That is what this is. Nimitta matram bhava. May thy grace flow through us to the world around us. Gurudev's prayer. After all that practical display, and Arjuna is so overwhelmed, he does not know how to respond. His heart is filled with reverence and gratitude. And he says this beautiful prayer in the 11th chapter, from 36th verse to 46th verse. Beautiful prayers, thanking God, saluting him, prostrating to him again and again, singing his glories, declaring him to be the greatest of all, and surrendering again and again. That's what it is. And there are, the personal relationship between Krishna and Arjuna also comes out so beautifully there. But the essence of it can be taken and made into a very beautiful prayer, very simple prayer, which can be our daily prarthana to Bhagavan also. If it is made a little, non-specific, if it is made a little generic, then it can be made as a daily prarthana for all of us. And that Guruji has done, which is this is where we left last class, and I wanted to read out that prayer and see how, we can make this our prayer for contemplation and meditation. Okay. So the first response after this darshan of Shri Krishna, so such a beautiful word uttered by Arjuna, he says, Sthane Rishikesha. Sthane Rishikesha, Tava Prakritya. O Bhagavan, Rishikesha, the Lord of the senses, Sthane, everything is in its place. All is well. Everything is exactly as it should be. That is the greatest realization he feels. He realizes that whatever is there, the way it is, that is exactly how it is meant to be. All is fine, all is well. Nothing is accidental, nothing is chaotic, nothing is unfair. All is well, all is as it should be only. It could have been like that. Why I didn't do like this? Why it happened that way? What would happen in the future? Nothing. Everything has been fine. It is fine. It will be fine. It is as it should be. Yes, what is the wonder? He says, the next line is, the great, no wonder salute thee. Huh? It is by your grace that the world rejoices and loves, and the great people salute you, and the evil fear you and run away from you. This is all no wonder, because nature prevails. No, it is as it should be. Good begets good, evil begets evil. The good people naturally take to the righteous path, dharma, and they choose you. Whereas the evil people with the evil tendencies fear you, run away from you, because they take to adharma, unrighteous path. This is as per their nature. The nature prevails. Svabhavastu pravartate. So all is well. All is well. That is the first prayer. That is the first line of the prayer. A huge realization. Huge realization, that is. Everything is as it should be. All is well. What does that knowledge, that realization give us? Complete acceptance, right? But at the same time, when we keep saying this acceptance and surrender, we should remember one thing very, very clearly. There should not be any doubt about this. This acceptance does not mean a passive kind of surrender, a passive kind of resignation. Okay, everything is all right now, fine, it is business, then what role should I play? I can just be, that's all. It's not that kind of passive surrender, right? Because even though Arjuna realizes this, he is still going to pick up his Gandiva and fight. That's what Krishna has asked him to do also. Although Krishna has said everything has been done, they are all dead, gone. They have chosen this end by their own actions. It was their choice to end this way. So it has been done by me, it has been done by their actions. Yet, you should not run away from the war field. This can be done even without you, but still you should do your duty. Get up and fight. Because you are a Kshatriya, get up and do your duty. And he himself, Krishna, to show his solidarity to Dharma, even though he promised he won't pick up any weapon, he came as a charioteer and he did his role so perfectly, right? So that's, even though all is as it should be, yes, you do your duty. It's not a passive surrender. It's not like, doctor saying, what can I do? God has determined for him how many days he has to live and how he has to die and all that. What can I do? I will just watch. He cannot say that. Or he cannot say this was his own doing. He drank away to merriment, and now he has liver cancer or liver this and that. What can I do? He has to reap his results. Okay. But your duty is to give your best at the patient. Then whatever happens as the result, you accept. It doesn't mean God has planned this way or you have chosen these results will come to you because you did those actions. So now do nothing. That's not what he's saying. Same way with every role, right? A teacher says, the good students are going to study, bad will not, those that are not so good will not pass anyway. What is there for me to do? That kind of passive resignation, that's not what Shri Krishna is saying. That's not the message conveyed through this acceptance of everything as it should be. Yes, accept, do whatever comes to you, presents itself as duties, whatever the situation presents to yourself, to the best of your knowledge and ability, perform and leave the rest. That is what is meant by all is well. That is what is meant. And then the great, no wonder, salute thee. What does that mean? You are the most worshipful, the most sought after, the most adorable being, because all virtues, if one wants power, one craves for wealth, one craves for, fame or beauty or sovereignty or noble virtues or knowledge, whatever thing we aspire for or we admire, or we seek all those things, all that goodness and all those virtues, all that nobility, to its best, to its fullest resides in Bhagavan, right? So that's why the great people, whom do they seek? Whom do they look up to? Whom do they worship and revere? Not anything of this world, but you. So you are the most worshipful. Everything is as it should be. You are the most worshipful. So we have to realize, when God is with us, who can be against us? And if God is not with us, then who can be for us? Right? So don't go after the world seeking support or seeking acknowledgement, recognition, help, whatever. Just realize that if we are right and doing the right, God will come to us through so many means. The next sentence in that prayer, again and again I prostrate to thee. So the first thing is seeing God, seeing everything as, God, and accepting it, and then worshipping him, and then prostrating. Again and again I prostrate to thee means what? After this great realization has dawned, what is the only thing left to do? You have already done everything. Everything is just fine, wonderful, great. I have all admiration for you. What can I do except surrender my ego? Surrender my ego. That's why when we go to the temple also, sometimes we just do like this. When they take arati, or we do this kuttu on our head. What does that kuttu mean? Oh, I'm nothing, nothing. I'm a nobody. You are the greatest. I'm nothing, nobody. That realization comes. And there is a full reverential surrender in terms of prostration and salutations and namaskars and sashtang namaskar. The physical things that we do as kuttu or to do namaskar, what does that, what attitude does it bring about? It brings about the attitude that I am nothing, I am zero. At your feet, I am insignificant. That physical thing brings about that humility in mind. That bhava is what is meant by I prostrate to you again and again. In every action, in every thing, I realize I'm nobody. It's all yours. And I surrender my ego. Then the next line after that surrender, right? After the acceptance and salutations and worship and the surrender, there is asking for forgiveness. For all my mistakes, do forgive me. Arjuna, especially in those verses in the 11th chapter, he remembers, so many times that informally during so many conversations and times spent with Krishna, how he has treated him as just a cousin or a friend, showing no respect. He remembers all that. Oh, this God, Supreme Lord, Ishvara, the creator of the world, has been here with me all along. And I didn't recognize. I forgot. I didn't recognize. I didn't give him the due respect. How so silly. My God, please forgive, please forgive. Right? So we also know every moment actually we commit this sin. This is a great omission and a sin, so to say. Not recognizing the divine presence, we are unable to recognize because of our impurities. That itself is a sin. So we ask for forgiveness. Every time I doubt you and I complain or grieve, means I'm not recognizing, I'm not acknowledging your divine presence, your greatness, isn't it? So for all the times that I've been, so ungrateful, complaining and grieving and not recognizing you, your presence and your grace and your greatness, Please forgive me for all of that. And then the final declaration is, he says, you are the only one for the world and me. For the world and me, you are the only one. There is none equal to you in the three worlds or in all the worlds. Then how can one be anywhere who's greater than you? You are the father of the entire world, of all the beings, and you are the greatest guru, teacher for all. Pithasi lokasya characharasya tvamasya pujasycha gurur gariyan. Natvat samost adhika kutonyaha. There is nobody samaha to you. How can be anyway abhyadikaha? Who can be greater than you? You are the God of everyone. You are the greatest teacher for all. Apratima prabhava. Such is your prowess and greatness unparalleled. That kind of declaration automatically comes. Now you have become a testimony. Testimony. And you also go about declaring, yes, God is and He is so great and He is so wonderful. First you were there standing apart as a student, doubting, questioning. I have some faith, but how, with all those questions. But after all, being a recipient of all this grace, then the declaration comes, no, without any doubt. You go and proclaim and declare, yes, God is so wonderful, He's so great, He's there. That is what happens at the end. So that is this beautiful prayer, which is the essence of these 10 slokas. It is meant for us. It is meant for us. What Arjuna's prayer to Sri Krishna is meant for us to personalize. We can customize however we like, to internalize it, to contemplate on it, and make it our prayer to the Lord. All is well as it should be. It is no wonder that the great salute thee. Again and again I prostrate to you. For all my mistakes, do forgive me. And you are, I declare, you are the only one for the world and me. So that kind of complete acceptance and surrender, not a passive resignation, but a full reverential surrender, that bhava automatically happens. Right? So that's why, again, in the 11th chapter, last sloka, which we have seen already, Bhagavan said, Manmana abhava madbhaktaha bhava, all that he said, no, fix your mind and intellect in me. So after this beautiful prayer and God's instructions and demonstration and everything, in the 12th chapter beginning, because Bhagavan said, now you become my devotee. You become my full-time devotee. That's the note he ends with. You become my full-time devotee. Put your mind and intellect in me. Worship me at all times with all your heart, body, mind, soul, through all your word, thought, and deed. That's what he has said. Become full-time devotee. So the 12th chapter, Bhakti Yoga, begins with Arjuna's question, Bhagavan, which is better? To worship you as Nirguna Brahma, attributeless Sachidananda Swarupa, or to worship you as Ishvara, the creator, sustainer, destroyer of the world, pervading everything, or with a form or with so many forms. Which is better? Which is better? He asks. And previously also, starting from the 3rd chapter, Arjuna has been at all these important occasions asking these questions for our sake. First, he asked whether, Bhagavan, you have praised self-knowledge, Adhyatma Jnana, so much. So, which is better for me, Karma Yoga or abiding in my nature? Bhagavan said, abiding in nature, forget it. Karma Yoga is what is best for you at this moment. Then again he asked in the beginning of the 5th chapter whether Karma Sannyasa Yoga is better or Karma Yoga is better. Whether I should renounce my worldly possessions and duties and just focus on the teachings, on the self-knowledge, to the Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana only, exclusively, or I should still keep doing my duties. Bhagavan said, at this point where you are, Karma Yoga for you and for most of humanity, that is what it is. Now again, here he asks, you are asking me to become a full-time devotee, whether I should do upasana, sadhanas for for developing bhakti towards Nirguna Brahman or to Saguna Brahman with form and with attributes, which is better. Okay. So Shri Krishna is, for all the time, his answer is one only. What is it? It depends. It depends. It depends on where you are right now, your aptitude and your ability right now. Bhagavan does not give one word answer. Yes, A or B. A is better. B or C. C is better. He doesn't say like this. He says all these options are there. All these things are there like a platter. What is your aptitude? What is your ability at this point? For you right now, this is good. But your own ability and aptitude will keep changing. It will be a natural progression. Nothing can be forced. As a natural progression, the next one will come to you at the right time. For you right now, duties and war has come to you naturally. Do that, the next thing will come to you. But all these options are there. These are the steps. Not that this is the best way, this is not so good. In all his wisdom, again and again he clarifies, it's not that karma yoga is the best thing, bhakti yoga is the best thing, jnana yoga, self-knowledge, abidance is the only thing. Worship Ishvara as Bhagavan as Ishvara or as Ishta Devata or Avatara, only this is good, only. No. He gives all the knowledge and he says, for right now, this is good, but I'm also giving you all this other knowledge because as a natural progression, you are going to evolve through all these phases. So now itself, I'm giving you all the various things that's going to happen up to the end of Jivan Mukti. Whatever is there for us, aspirant for a sadhaka, I'm giving you the entire ladder, the entire path I'm showing to you. That's what. So when Arjuna asked this question, the answer to Arjuna and to all of us is, Shri Krishna says, it depends. It depends on your ability and your aptitude at this time. So not that there is only one method, there is only one thing to attain. This is the way. It's not like that. And he says, he gives only one clue. How to know what is my aptitude, what I'm good at, how to know whether I will be able to do this or not. Until I try, I won't know. No? That may be a question. So the clue for you to know your aptitude and your ability in this spiritual sadhana, whether you are right now fit for abidance or karma sannyasa or bhakti, nirguna brahma upasana or saguna brahma upasana, or what is it? What is it? Right? The clue, the easiest way to find is, where is your mind? Where is your mind? Where is your mind? Where is your thoughts and where is your feeling? Where are your thoughts and where are your feelings? To whatever thing they naturally gravitate, take up that. Right now they naturally gravitate towards only selfish, pleasure-oriented life. Means you have to wean it out of that and take up these steps step by step. But among the spiritual sadhana, depending on your stage of evolution right now, whichever is suitable to you, conducive to you, take that up. That's what. And he lists down these 4 steps, 5 steps actually, each one subtler, and he gives the most subtlest and the difficult first, and then he tones it down one by one. Okay. So before we get into that, we'll reflect a little bit more on the clue that Bhagavan says, right? So easiest thing first for us to know our aptitude, we have to analyze our own mind. There is no other go. We have to analyze, we have to face our mind, face the truth, right? Because we cannot run away from we can run from so many things, physically be anywhere we want, but we can never what? Get rid of our thoughts. They are going to be with us all the time, wherever you go. So it's not important where the body is, where we are physically. What is more important is, where is our mind? Where are our thoughts at this moment? Is it in this class? Is it in Krishna? Is it in Bhagavad Gita? Or is it somewhere else? That is what is important rather than connecting on Zoom, rather than having a book in hand, right? Where are our thoughts? Where is your thoughts? Where do your thoughts and feelings of love naturally go? We all differ. All these differences and all these varieties are there because we differ in only one thing. Not physically, not mentally also actually. What is it? It is only by the thickness and the layers of vasanas that each one has. Somebody has so much vasanas. This is also very little to show. The thickness of the layer of likes and dislikes and vasanas, all those sediments that we have made upon us, that is what makes us different from each other. In every other aspect, we are the same. As humans, as Panchabhutas, we are all the same. What makes me different from you, you different from the other, is these. How thick is our vasana layer? How thick and how hard these sediments are. Right? So find out, how do we know our vasanas? What is our natural inclination, where our mind gravitates? And depending on that, you take up one of this level. Wherever you are, you will be able to analyze if you know this. So, but now knowing this, and after this, disclaimer that it's not that one method is better than the other. It's just a ladder of evolution. It's a natural progression, we can say. So the first thing you asked, Nirguna Brahma Upasana, right? Nirguna Brahma Upasana, it is something that happens. That contemplation is not something you can force yourself into. But if your mind, I'm giving these options because if you don't even know what that is, how will you know whether your mind goes to it or not? Right? How is Nirguna Brahma Upasana? Is to know the Lord as all pervasive without any name and form. Aksharam, Avyaktam, Achintyam. Aksharam is imperishable and eternal, meaning all that is there that meets my eyes, that meets my senses, which is perishable and which is finite, that is not him. So negate, 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 including my body, mind, intellect. I should negate, 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 and arrive at that. Avyaktam, unmanifest. So negate all names and forms, remove all names and forms. Achintyam, beyond thoughts. So even the subtle thoughts, the subtle names and the forms that are there, the words that are there, that are unspoken, the thoughts, that also I should give up, let go, negate, let go, drop it, drop all the inert, drop all the insentient and the perishable, drop all the names and forms, even the subtle unspoken words and thoughts distracting in the mind, and whatever is left, that pure consciousness is me, is Nirguna Brahma. When we say this, when the Upanishads say this, when the Guru says this, is our mind is our mind liking these things, to hear this, to contemplate on this? Even for the grossest person also, I mean, grossest person means for one who has that thick layer of vasanas and very, very worldly minded also, at one particular instant, due to his punya karma, previous punya, or the association of a guru, the impact may be that even he may listen and be like, wow, and abide for a second or for a moment, right? But majority of the time, when we hear, is this my aptitude, ability? Am I able to quieten my senses and mind and intellect and just be there negating and dropping? Is it natural? Am I loving it? Or is it a forceful thing of, come on, I should do meditation of Nirguna Brahman. Om, om, om. Is it a forceful repetition? Because if something is being forced without love, it will only cause suppression, repression, and explosion. Right? So this is Nirguna Brahma Upasana, to know the Lord as Aksharam, Avyaktam, Achintyam, negation of all that is there, including your senses and equipments, and just abide. Okay. Sari. Now we know, each one of us know whether we like it, whether it suits us, whether we are capable of it now or not. Then what is there? Okay, because this is so abstract, subtle. Saguna Brahma Ishvara. I have explained in all these 10th chapter, I showed the glories. 7th chapter, I showed I am the essence of everything. 8th chapter, also, I kept telling, remember me always. 11th chapter, I showed my physical Virat, cosmic form also. So, that Ishvara as the essence of everything. Now, there are so many options now. Attributes, so many attributes. He's so full of love. He's infinite. He's compassionate. Are you able to focus your mind on my attributes as Ishvara? See me as essence, see me as a karma paladhata, karma adhyaksha, everything. So that's in the 8th verse is the Saguna Brahma first ladder, the subtlest there is what is just Mayeva mana adatsva, Mayi buddhim niveshaya. Ata nivasishyasi Mayeva. What is that? If you put your mind and intellect in me fully all the time, then no doubt you will come to me. You will dwell in me. You will merge with me. The highest form of Saguna Brahma Upasana. Fix your mind and intellect in me always. Is that natural to us when we hear this? Do we think we'll be able to do this all the time? All the time so naturally? Be in complete awe, complete basking in the presence of God, no matter what happens around us. Is it possible? Does this suit you? Abdina yenna theriliye, I still don't understand. Means see the life of all the Nayanmas and Alvas and all those bhaktas. You will know what it is. To fix the mind and intellect is not like fixing or repairing a gadget, right? How it happens to them, so full of love and reverence for God. They cannot see anything but God. Surdas ji is blind, but is blind to the world. He is only seeing Krishna everywhere. Right? And upper, Thirunavukarasar, our upper Nayanmar, when they are putting him in that Sunambu, that is, what do you say? That Sunambu, that white thing, if it is chalk, some big chalks, if you put in water, it is going to dissolve and produce so much heat, the water is going to boil you and you'll be cooked alive. In a locked up room with such a hot water with the Sunambu in it for 1 week without any food. And he comes out singing the praise of God and giving his experience. Lime mortar, okay, lime mortar, which when put in water just dissolves and keeps generating heat, making the whole thing hot. He's put in such a room with such water and lime mortar mixed. And what is happening after 1 week? They open up. He's all fresh, like he's in a kulu fridge from Himalayas, fresh like an apple, and sings. All my senses are dipped in God's presence, in the divine experience of God, he says. Masal Vinayam. That's how I can hear the Veena's tune and I can feel the tendril breeze, the cold breeze, and I smell the fragrance of the flowers and the sounds of the bees and the honey in my tongue. That is the experience that was there for me all these 7 days in this place. Nothing, they are only experiencing God through all their senses. Mirabai, the poison that is being given also, she feels this is payasam. And so many examples of we can say where the mind and intellect is naturally only gravitating towards the Lord all the time. They are in his presence completely united with him in word, thought, and deed. It's not a pressure, it's not a force, it's naturally coming to them, focusing on the Lord. So be like that. Focus on me at all times with your mind and intellect. Okay, he says. That is the surest way. If that also seems very difficult, that, we know our status, our sediments of likes and dislikes, how much is there right now. That seems impractical. Forget about, difficult situations, thinking of the Lord. Even in good situations, even if I'm in an AC room, I'm not able to think of God. What to think of in hot weather? I'm not able to focus on Lord's beautiful glories and his forms and attributes. I'm not able to focus. Okay, then the next thing you can do is practice Abhyasa Yoga. Practice, practice, practice. We can gain success in steps by doing well the smaller things that we can do, by attaining perfection in it, not by attempting something that is beyond us, attempting or forcing something which we are incapable of. The capacity increases by repeated performance of the possible. So do Abhyasa Yoga, practice, practice. Practice means what? If the mind does not naturally navigate and all my words, thoughts, and deeds are not on God, then do Abhyasa Yoga. Practice means take up certain time out of your regular thing, devote more and more time for the practice of this. Pick up some alambana or support. It can be a form of the Lord, a vigraha or a picture. Okay, and practice focus. And for that time, at least, are you able to just revel in the Lord? Once you are able to take that time and dedicate to Him with all focus, it is a regular and sincere practice. Regularity and sincerity in such practice, whatever it practice that we take. There are also lots of options are there. Whatever it is that is conducive, you do. Whatever it is that is non-conducive to remembering the Lord, you refrain from. That is Abhyasa Yoga. Long duration of continuous practice, practice, practice. That's how we become good in anything, no? Even in sports, even in a competitive exam. If you're naturally good at it, well and good. If you're not naturally good at it, then you practice. Practice your stamina. Take for shorter duration, become very good in it, and then increase your duration of time, increase your strength, increase in stamina. That's how you can become physically fit also, or competitive in that field. Isn't that what we do? So Abhyasa Yoga is practice is taking the support of something. If your mind is not naturally in God and seeing God everywhere, then at least for that duration of time, take a form of the God, sit there and think of His greatness and see, increase your stamina slowly, increase your focus and concentration slowly by that repeated practice. And not that if I'm taking 1 or 2 hours or 3 hours a day for intense practice, the remaining the rest of the hours of the day, I'm doing whatever way I live. It's not like that intermittent fasting. 16 hours fast and 8 hours, whatever you want to eat, you do. Not like that. If it is unconducive to this, then you will not get the desired result. So the rest of the life also should be geared towards this. You should take up only conducive things, not pleasure-oriented, selfish things. So that way you slowly increase your capacity through practice, Abhyasa Yoga. First is concentrate on the Lord, always. Second is practice. Third, even this practice is so difficult. This mind is so filled with dislikes and dislikes, so gross. It is just running outward, that 1 hour, 2 hour, you're saying even 5 minutes, 10 minutes to sit there is difficult for me to focus on the Lord. Then what you should do? You should do karma yoga, that is with arpana buddhi. You have to do worldly things. You do worldly things. You do your worldly duties and do it with arpana buddhi. Karma yoga now he has come to. Arpana buddhi, Ishvara arpana buddhi, we've already seen it, right? The main focus of it is what? I am doing this work for God, doing this duty for God, whether it is towards the family, nation, society, institution, whatever it is, that duty, that role has come. I'm doing it for God, not for A, B, and C, not for this boss, not for this family. No. That kind of offering. This we will be able to relate to because we offer everything, but not to God, but to some individual of the world. No? Now just offer it to God. For example, a father, whatever he does, he offers for the family only. Because his identity as a father is the primary is his primary identity. Like that, become a primary relationship with God is your primary relationship. I am a devotee. Primarily, I am a devotee. When that dominates, whatever actions we do it with Arpana Buddhi. That is Karma Yoga. Mat Karma Paramaha Bhava. Even that is difficult. That is difficult. It's not possible to dedicate all actions to God. Sometimes I have these selfish desires, these worldly pleasures, and I'm not able to dedicate that to Lord. Okay. Then one step further, Sarva Karma Phalatyagaha. You do everything with, because for God, if I take, then I'm not able to give my best. Okay. You do it for that sake. You have the goal and you work towards it. But when the results come, accept it as ordained by God, given by God. That is Prasada Buddhi. This way, Bhagavan gives the ladder. Nirguna Brahma Upasana at the top, then within Saguna Brahma Upasana, these 4 steps. What is the first one? Fixing your mind and intellect in the Lord always. That is, all your words, thoughts, and actions are always hovering around God only. Any subject, anything, anybody speaks, your mind is talking about, thinking about God only. It is relating to God only. It's not going towards that worldly thing. A small thing that you see, a baby you see, you are reminded of the Lord only. So many saints standing there, and a prostitute is there. She's so beautiful, but he's looking at her, like staring at her, and the lady herself asks, "What do you want?" Oh, Swamiji Maharaj. He's saying, "Mata, I'm thinking of the Creator who made you so beautiful." So whatever is there, even a rasagulla you enjoy, or even not only the things of enjoyment, or even the seeming difficulties, you can only see his presence. That is the in Saguna Brahma Upasana, the topmost. Mind is not able to do it. Abhyasa yoga, practice. Take out some time, and in that time, at least you, with the help of some supportive sadhanas and alambanas and stories and all those things, Shravanam, Smaranam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Pada Sevanam, take up some time and do those conducive practices again and again and again and again, till you're with to such an extent that the mind in that time, is so focused and merged in the Lord. Then slowly, you will naturally progress to the full-time fixing of your mind and intellect in the God. Now, even taking time and practicing is difficult. Then what? Do your duties with Arpana Buddhi. Identify yourself as a dasa of Bhagavan. I am the servant of the Lord. He is the only boss. Everything I do, but it is for him alone. If that also is difficult, then you do for your own sake only, but when the results come, accept. You are doing it for your sake only, but when the results come, you have acceptance, full acceptance as Lord's Prasad. This way, slowly, as natural progression, when our mind is ripe for the next stage will dawn, will happen. Okay, but nothing can be forced. Nothing can be forced by anyone else or even by ourselves. It has to be a natural progression. So honestly, whatever stage we are right now, take that up, and with all these instructions and lessons and messages from Shri Krishna, become so good and perfect in that stage that the next stage will come automatically. So this is the Bhakti Yoga in essence, what Bhagavan says in 12th chapter. Okay. The ladder, which rung we are, become stable in that. Okay. Let's end the session with a prayer. We'll continue the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.